Hey everybody, the following is an excerpt from a Rahdo Rounds Up video, and if you'd like to see the rest of the roundup that this came from, you can hit that eye up in the top right corner screen or follow the show notes, or if you'd like to know more about the game, there's a link for it down in the show notes as well. Okay, let's get to it. Then we go on to number 18, Telepathic. There's an interesting backstory here. This game was not one I was seeking out, but when Isaac Childress, the designer of Gloomhaven, sent me the prototype for Frosthaven so I could cover it last month, which I covered in last month's roundup, he also included a copy of Telepathic. And apparently it was designed by a friend of his, and he thought Jen and I would really like it. And he said, hey, I'm just sending this to you as a gift. No expectations of covering it or anything like that. Just thought it would be a good fit for you because he knows how much Jen and I love imperfect communication in co-ops. It's one of our favorite things. And that's what Telepathic is all about. So Jen and I did play it. Played it a few times and actually liked it quite a bit. It's going to be a keeper. But why doesn't it rate higher then? Well, let me tell you a bit more about what it is. This is a game where we're doing, remember those ESP experiments that you can see stock footage of from the 50s and 60s where somebody holds up a card and the test subject can't see it and they have to read the mind to know, oh, that's three wavy lines or whatever. That's what we're doing. We are trying to read each other's minds in this game. And because we each have a secret objective. My objective might be I have to get 3 circles in a row in this grid of symbols. And your objective might be I have to get 3 green tiles in a row. And of course, we can't tell each other what we want to do. And in fact, we don't actually even have to do that. We just have to intuit and understand what each other's goal is. And how do we communicate then? Because we're not allowed to talk at all. It's an ESP test. All I can do is on my turn, I can draft from a series of command cards and give one to you. And that is a command you have to do. And these commands are moving tiles around, doing slide, tile, shuffle, puzzly type movements. And the reason I'll give you one is because I identify, oh, if I give her this and she plays it over here, that means she would get 3 circles in a row. And I know I already figured out she doesn't want 3 pluses in a row. Does she want 3 circles or does she want 3 squares? This would let me determine. And then I see what you do with it. And if you do it to make 3 circles in a row, I could then intuit that might be what you want. But maybe you still want the other one. Or maybe you didn't see that you were going to do that. Maybe you were trying to communicate something else to me. That's the core of the game. We communicate by giving each other silent instructions and then hope the other player intuits what we're trying to do. It's a cool idea. And while it's pretty abstract, I think they found a theme that fits perfectly because it really does feel like, oh, we're doing ESPN things and trying to read each other's minds. It's cool. It's neat. It's fun. Why didn't it rate higher? My only problem is, like I said, we played this several times because it's really quick as well. And what we found is, depending on the random setup of the board and the random commands that come out that we can draft from, the game can actually be very challenging. And it really requires a lot of trust, a lot of intuition, or it can be incredibly easy. And, oh, wow, yeah, I figured it out in 3 turns, well before we were ever close to the end. And so there's a lot of swinginess. Now, that's okay, because this is an under 20-minute game, even at full length. But I do have to knock it down a peg. I'm not even sure what he'd be able to do in the design to ensure that it always provides an interesting and dynamic challenge. Because sometimes you get insane luck of the draw where the game just bends over backwards to be easy to win. So that's why I didn't rate it higher. But that said, we still enjoyed it. And we might hold on to it. I'm not sure yet. But anyway, it's my number 18, Telepathic.